module 2. Okay, module 2. Let me share with you the top 5 common feng shui mistakes when renovating your home. Now we are going into the internal part lah. Remember, outside you know, but you can't do anything about it. But inside is where you can control. Okay, you can control. So yeah, might as well do it. Like I said, when there's a strength, play up the strength. When there's a weakness, try to play down the weakness. And when there's opportunity, try to maximize the opportunity. This is what we aim to do. Okay, so why I am listing this top 5 is that, there are many cases whereby homeowners come to me only after they have fully renovated and about to shift in. They ask me to come in. And then when I look at that, I say, hey, your outside is already like that. Inside, you still do like that. You're going to have a hard time. Right? So, so they were asking how. So in the end, we got to do some, quite a major kind of re-renovation, which I hope we don't have to. Because if let's say you do this space planning from the beginning, from the onset, and incorporate this into your renovation plan, then you will avoid all the retrospective kind of work later on. Okay, so based on this experience, based on these statistics, I list down the top 5 common feng shui mistakes when renovating your home. So I thought it's good to share with you all what are those. Okay, so that when you're planning your renovation, try to avoid these 5 mistakes. There are plenty. There are plenty of other mistakes, but based on my statistics, these are the top 5. Okay. Number 1, open concept. How many of you plan to have a very huge open concept kind of design for your home? Right now, I think most of the house unit, you have the living room and the dining already open concept. Right now, that's a very basic area. I think this is the most common thing you can see, open concept. But anybody plan to knock down the kitchen wall and things like that, or maybe knock down a room and things like that and expand it, or knock down the wall but put up a glass door, a glass wall, something like that. Okay, so a glass wall is considered an open concept also because you can see in, see out. Right? So what about this? What about this open concept that is called a mistake? Yeah. Now, open concept, short answer is open concept, make it very easy for item. Item means household item, like fan, mirror, plant, stove, basin, all these things, household item, to be at the wrong place, creating all sort of trouble for the house because it's open concept. Let me explain to you. Now, look at this picture here. You have the living room on the left, all right? Kitchen on the right side, open concept because there's an island here, okay? And then the dining is right in the middle, okay? And this walkway is to the bedroom, right? So, and then because it's open concept, right? So if you are at the living room, you can see the dining very clearly. You can also see into the kitchen very clearly. So vice versa. If you're standing inside the kitchen, you can see the dining clearly. You can see the living room clearly. So whether it's talking about this plant here or we're talking about this mirror here, it's going to affect not only the place that you put there, it's going to affect the living room. For example, the mirror is going to affect the living room. It's going to affect the kitchen because it's open concept. You can see them from where you stand. So there's a high chance that the mirror may affect one of these places. And when it affects one of these places, then the related symptom will show up. For example, maybe it's going to affect your elder son, or maybe going to affect your youngest daughter, things like that. Okay, how it's going to affect? Maybe more stubborn, maybe don't want to study, or very poor at study, things like that, or easily injured herself or himself, things like that. Okay, so all this could be a potential, time bomb. Yeah. So let's take a look. What I mean by open concept. You look at this, I pull out a floor plan of Kallang Breeze, a typical floor plan of Kallang Breeze. Okay, so for example, the main door is here, okay, and the living room is here, dining is here, kitchen, assuming there is a concrete opaque wall, a full height opaque wall. Then only the living room and dining is considered open concept. Okay, open concept. But what if perhaps the what do you call that? The owner decided to say, let me knock down the kitchen wall and become open, so that when I stand inside the kitchen, I can see dining, I can see living room, like what I mentioned just now. Or similarly, when I'm standing at the living room, I can see the dining, I can see the kitchen. So all these stove basins suddenly become very visible. Now it does affect, it does affect. Okay, so this is what we call open concept. If you want to play safe, then as little open concept as possible, so that we minimize the chances of item being placed at the wrong place, thus creating trouble along the way. Is that okay? This is called open concept, right? So this is mistake number one. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but then this is what I see most homeowner do, because nowadays BTO floor area is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so they want to make it look bigger and bigger. So no choice, either they put in a lot of mirrors or they tear down all the walls to make it more spacious, right? But then, tearing down the walls, make it open concept, it gives you a different set of feng shui problems. Okay, and then you'll be wondering why keep on injuring, keep on falling down, or poor chai, things like that. Sometimes because um item being placed at the wrong place, because of open concept, right? So this is mistake number one. Any question so far? If no, then let me move on to mistake number two. Right, that's why I mentioned, because the BTO unit is getting smaller and smaller. So most ID would suggest either making open concept or making into a glass wall, or by introducing mirrors all over, right? So make it more spacious. Now, the mistake number two is exactly this one: mirrors. Mirrors has several characteristics. Number one, it reflects. Right, it reflects. For example, you look at this picture here, you can reflect the light, you can reflect the plant, you can reflect this abstract painting, you can reflect a lot of things. Number two, it has a so-called metal energy. Okay, metal energy in terms of 五行, is considered metal energy, and metal energy cannot anyhow place lah, right? If you place a wrong place, it can create mishaps. Just let me let you in a little bit. Now, this picture that you see, okay, this client place a mirror like this, very wide mirror. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of mirror on that piece of wall. They want to make the room bigger, and then unintentionally they place a vase of plants here. Okay, right, a vase of plants here. Now, this household keep on encountering what we call mishaps. Okay, in Chinese called 无妄之灾, 无代无志 kenawan. Right, it's either fall down, break the leg, break the bone, and then heal already, break again. This called 无妄之灾. Why leh? Okay, not many masters are able to detect why one. Okay, it's because this is the cause. This mirror plus this plant is the culprit for the so-called mishaps. This is called 无妄之灾, the formation. Okay, so if you have decided to have mirrors with in your house, do be mindful where to put them. Okay, so since you are here, let me share with you some quick rules. Okay, some quick rules. So you may want to jot it down or take your phone, take the picture of the next slides. Right? If you want to place mirror, avoid this sector: the east sector, the southeast sector, the southwest sector, and the northeast sector. Done? Let me repeat: avoid mirror at east, southeast, southwest, northeast. Okay, Ken? Now, let me show you an example. Take back this floor plan. Okay, this is the floor plan. Okay, Okay, take back this floor plan. Now, the ID proposed say, oh, let's make the room bigger. Okay, so the living room bigger or the dining room bigger. So they say, okay, why don't you place a mirror on this dining wall here? Okay, the red line is called the mirror mirror. Okay, place the mirror, the entire wall mirror, that big piece. Okay, so it reflect back onto the dining table. Some master says it's good, good, good. Okay, you have mirror that reflect on the dining table. This is good. Okay, means abundance. Now be careful. Be careful. Okay, I already give you the guideline, the quick guideline already. Okay, so avoid east, southeast, southwest, northeast. You have to make sure that this wall is not falling in either of these sector. Let me show you example. For example, okay, let's say this area here, if I take the compass reading, it shows me like that. Northwest is here, north is here, okay, northeast is this area here, east is this area, southeast is this area, south, southwest, and then west. Okay, so this piece of mirror here is eating into north, north, northeast, and east. So you see, it is sitting into east, sitting into northeast. So it is affecting two sectors already. All right. And when these two sectors are affected, it will affect the boy. Affect the boy. Okay, in many ways. In many ways, the growth and the development. All right. So therefore, even though it's reflecting the dining, which symbolize abundance, it will give you a different set of problem later on, which you don't know also why it's affecting you in that way. It's because right now, based on these quick tips, is that because your mirror is too wide, it's sitting in the north, in the northeast and east, and out of these three, this two is a no-no. That's what happened. You renovate it, then you call a feng shui master in, and then say that, hey, because of this, all this problem, you're experiencing all this problem with regards to the boy, and then to solve it, you have to tear down the mirror, which is a very costly retrospective adjustment. Okay. Right. So not only this, open concept, right? Open concept, living room here. If I take a compass reading, okay, so this mirror is at the east and at the southeast. All right. You see, open concept have this problem. So it's very easy. The chances of you putting the wrong thing at the wrong place is very high with open concept. Okay. So with this, not only the east, northeast that just now we talk about, southeast also kena. Now, southeast refers to to the daughter. Okay, so now this side means son also kena, daughter also kena, right? So means children. Okay, that's because of one mirror, right? It can affect their growth and development, right? So therefore, with this, if you have not jotted down these quick rules where you cannot place mirror, right? Then please quickly jot it down or take your handphone, take a quick photo, right? So any questions so far with this mirror thing? No? Can I move on? If you're still good with me, type a yes in the chat box that you're still good with me here. Then I move on. Ijun is asking, why does Southeast represent daughter? Now, in Feng Shui studies, uh, every family members has a specific personal sector. Okay, personal sector. So if that sector, for example, Southeast is damaged, damage means you place the wrong thing at the wrong at southeast lah. For example, a mirror at southeast. I say no, you still put a mirror there. Then it's going to affect. Southeast refers to the eldest daughter. Eldest daughter, not any other daughter, but the eldest one. Okay, so yeah, so if you put a mirror at southeast, it's going to affect of all the daughters, the eldest daughter first. Okay, then this is what it means lah. So every family member has a personal sector. If you want to make yourself better, become better in life, with career, with relationship, with opportunities and with wealth, take care of your personal sector. Is that okay, Yijin? Okay, now nobody asked me, does it mean that mirror at the other 4 sector is okay? So Yijun is asking, is it the same for everyone or different family, different? Same, universal law. This is universal law, southeast equal eldest daughter. Universal law. Okay, so what if you're planning to put a mirror that is not in these 4 sectors, out of this list lah? Is that okay? All right, so if that is what is in your mind, then hear me out. Huh? Generally, technically speaking, it should be okay. Okay, I repeat, technically, generally speaking, it should be okay. But look out for this. If the okay sector happen to be facing main door means here, for example, you decided to create a partition here, okay, a partition here, and then you decided to put a mirror here that is facing the main door. No. Even though the sector is okay for mirror, it is a no. Okay, so facing main door, no. Facing window, no. Behind sofa, no. Behind bed head, no. And if it reflect the bed in your bedroom, also no. Do you need me to repeat again? If you need me to repeat again, type a yes in the chat box. If not, then I will move on to the next mistake. Okay, let's move on to mistake number 3, cold light. ID love to recommend cold light. Okay, I'm sure you also, some of you may also like cold light. Make it cozy in your living room, make it nice and cozy. So now, what about cold light that you need to take note of? Let me show you a picture first. There are many patterns of cold light, but generally, most of it comes in this manner. You have one on one side and the other one on the other side. Okay, and then you have the light, coming out from above. Okay, so this is called the cold light. Now the thing here is this mistake you must avoid. For the cold light that is this side here is fine. Okay, TV side is fine. But on the sofa side, avoid having cold light that is directly cutting down onto the sofa where you could be sitting there. If this edge cut down onto your leg, you may have leg problem. If you cut down onto your head, you may have issues with the head. For example, migraine. For example, pressure. For example, head injury. So you avoid having cold flat panel like this directly above where you sit. TV, because you're not sitting there, so it's fine. Okay. Now, same thing applies to bed. Okay, same thing applies to bed. You see the cold flat here, right? You don't want to be sleeping directly underneath the cold flat here, right? So if let's say it's going to hit onto your face when you sleep, look up, it hit onto your face, then it may be affecting your face, for example, your eyes, your nose, your throat, things like that. If it's affecting, hitting onto your chest, then you may have respiratory issue and things like that, or breathing issue, asthma, and things like that. So avoid wherever you are. Avoid having some structure like this directly above your head or above your body, for that matter. So if you want cold flight on the other side or on the side here also can, as long as it's not directly above the bed. Right? So this is mistake number 3. Okay, mistake number 4 is with regard to aircon. I know in Singapore, we can't do without aircon. I think this is a must thing, right? So yeah, in that case, then place the aircon at the right place. That's like mirror, that place the aircon at the right place. So I'm going to give you a quick tips where to avoid having aircon. All right, so be prepared. The next slide, jot it down or take a photo. Yeah. Now, aircon, avoid these three sectors: southwest, north, and northeast. Okay, I repeat, southwest, north, and northeast. Right? So avoid that. Okay. So then those sectors that's not in this list, is it okay to have aircon? Now my answer to you is technically, generally it's okay. But watch out for this. For the okay sectors, if it's behind the sofa, no. For the okay sectors, if it's behind the bed head, no. Okay? Get that? So basically, I've shared with you 4 common mistakes. Okay, 4 common mistakes. So you can, I think this can be easily avoided. Just tell your ID and avoid these three or 4 sectors. There you go. I think you're almost good to go. Right? Next, the last mistake is ignoring personal sector. I think this is not your fault because you did not learn feng shui, so you do not know. That's now Yijun asking about why Southeast represent daughter, and my answer to to you is that in feng shui studies, every family member has a personal sector. Okay, now that because you don't know, so you may be ignoring this, but because for professional like us, when we go down, you find that hey, this sector representing eldest daughter, but you have placed the wrong thing there, so it's going to affect or press down onto the eldest daughter. That's why she is experiencing certain troubles in life, relationship, studies, or career, and things like that. Therefore, you need to make good the southeast sector for the eldest daughter. Something like that. Okay, so Ijin, so if you want to know, then what are the personal sectors for all the other family members? Then watch out for the next slides. Yeah. Now here you go. I separate this into left side and right side. Left side basically means the male family members. Right side means the female family members. So for father is the northwest. Very important sector because northwest also represent the breadwinner, right? So nowadays all families, 2 breadwinners. Okay, so if northwest is affected, not only it will affect father, yes, father will be badly affected, it might also affect the mother, who is also the breadwinner, right? So take care of northwest at all costs if you can. Elder son is the east. So imagine just now I say that mirror cannot be at the east, and in case you have mirror at the east, then it's going to affect elder son. Okay, then second son is the north. Third son, northeast. So this is for the guys, for the guys. So for the female, on the right side, mother, southwest. Eldest daughter, I mentioned just now, southeast. Okay, and second daughter, south. Third daughter, last but not least, is the west. So with these slides here, I hope you have jotted down or taken photo, is that look back at your family structure. What sectors matters to you, to your family? So if let's say you have a family setup of a father, a mother, maybe one son, one daughter, then you know, let me clear the ink. Let me clear the ink first. Father, mother, elder son, and daughter. So these 4 sectors, northwest, southwest, east, and southeast, is critical because these 4 sectors impact the family members directly. Okay, so it's critical. Huh? Right? So make sure you take care of these 4 sectors. Okay, so with this, I covered all the 5 top common mistakes that I see most homeowner do during renovation. When I saw that, I was a bit sayang for them because the deco was very nice, and then I have to tell them, no, mirrors at the wrong place going to affect this, affect that. So you have to do something about the mirror. So since this, I might as well, now that I have a chance to go to Kallang Breeze to look at the house there, the beautiful estate there. So I thought, why don't I run a webinar for you so that you can avoid the same mistakes that other people do? Okay, so yeah, these are the 5 top one. There are other mistakes, but I think this is the most common one. That's why I think it's better, easier to share with you so that you can start avoiding them if you can. Okay, any quick question? So in short, why we are doing all these things is basically with one purpose in mind, is to reduce unnecessary frictions in life. Because we know outside how outside going to affect the inside the house already and the occupants. So we want to make sure that the inside don't duplicate what the outside is doing. Okay. So if the strengths we want to play up, weaknesses we want to play down, opportunity we want to maximize. And with this, basically, we are reducing unnecessary life frictions lah. And then we are creating a sweet spot there, and then we start to achieve focused result, like what I shared with you, those case studies of my clients, right? Okay, any quick question? With this, I'm done with this webinar.